30 for 30 is presented with limited commercial interruption by...
Baseball World's Defensive Drills video features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky and the same revolutionary new training techniques that have produced Baseball World's back-to-back-to-back AAU National Championship team.
This is the instructional video that gets results.
To order your copy for only $29.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free.
And with local support from...
Looking for the best deals on wheels, you come see me, Honda Bob. For example, cruisers starting at $3,500. Come see me, Honda Bob, at the one and only House of Honda.
The House of Honda today.
Back in the 1990s, Hastings was a sleepy bedroom community. It was not a sports town.
Hastings baseball? Nobody knew Hastings baseball. Nobody. $1999? That year changed everything.
Ben Goldfarb changed everything. Here in downtown Hastings-on-Hudson, the fans have gathered to watch the local Little League parade, and no one is causing more excitement than Bulldog superstar Ben Goldfarb.
Ben Goldfarb.
Ben Goldfarb. Ben Goldfarb.
Ben Goldfarb.
On the mound, he's just blowing guys away.
That curveball that started at my head and finished at my ankles.
At the plate, he's absolutely crushing the ball.
Ben was bombing the ball deep. He was at short, ranging up the middle, ranging to the gap, all over the place.
You've heard of a 5-tool player. Ben had at least 6 or 7 tools.
There was really nothing he couldn't do.
From the time he was little, Ben was a baseball prodigy. And when he was drafted by the Bulldogs, everything began to fall into place.
I mean, when you talk about the Bulldogs, man, I mean, they were everybody's team that year. There was no doubt in anyone's mind that they were going places. The championship was theirs.
Look, everybody expected the Bulldogs to win that season. They were the championship team.
So there were a few decent teams, the Hawks, the Cougars, but we didn't have a weak spot in the line.
Depth is crucial in Little League baseball. We all know that. A lot of teams have some kid out in right field picking daisies. Not Ben's team. And you know why? Because Ben made sure nobody was picking daisies on that team. So you knew from the beginning, from the draft in the spring, whoever was going to end up with Ben, the younger kids, he was going to nurture them. He was going to bring them along. He was really responsible for the development. He was like a coach, like a manager, really.
That year was a team of destiny. From 1 to 9, the lineup was stacked, and it was all led by Ben.
Ben had this mythical leadership quality to him.
I've met a lot of great athletes. I've met Eli Manning, I've met Peyton Manning, but there's no one that has quite the presence that Ben Goldfarb has.
A lot of great characters in sports that you can't quite touch. They're elusive, whether it's their personality or their knowledge. They know they're so great. They want to keep you just out of reach, right at arm's length. That was Ben.
You can talk about his intangibles all you want, but Ben could flat out play ball.
Ben in that cleanup spot, a rock for the whole season.
He had a swing, compact, drive the ball.
He's got it. Whoa. And it settles into the upper deck.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that left field wall at Uniontown, it feels like a pitcher's best friend until Goldfarb steps up into the batter's box, and it's like a kiddie fence out there. Drops him over there into the playground. A couple of kids get knocked out every game, no big deal.
The power, the finesse, the speed, the determination.
Ben was a phenomenal outfielder, hell of a shortstop.
But when you think of Ben Goldfarb, you think about him on the pitcher's mound.
Nobody wanted to hit against Goldfarb. The kid practically struck you out before you even got in the on-deck circle.
It's hard to capture how incredibly intimidating Ben Goldfarb was on the mound. That kids were absolutely terrified to face it.
It felt like the Empire State Building on the mound. I'm there, looking up. and it was one of the most intimidating feelings of my life.
One time, Ben was pitching and he hit this bird that flew by, and the thing just exploded. He threw the ball so hard, he was like a Jewish Sandy Koufax.
Ben Goldfarb was the only pitcher I was truly afraid to face as a hitter.
Confidence, agility, power, everything stopped when Ben got to the mound.
The fanfare that Ben had that season, man, that was just incredible.
It was a crazy scene at the ballpark. I mean, you had 5th grade girls, 6th grade girls, you had some 7th grade girls coming out.
So I actually had a picture of Ben in my bedroom, above my bed, and I remember thinking, like, how can I get as strong and as tall as this guy? So, I'd go to the gym thinking about everything that Ben would do, and how he'd get better, and I sort of emulated him as best I could.
There'd be a line 40 to 50 people deep just to get an autograph.
Yeah, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, you name it. The women.
Even had some people coming down from Connecticut, from Cobb.
Mayhem. Total mayhem. I'm not sure that the Hastings Police Department had the staffing or the training necessary to keep control of the situation.
All the attention really took a toll on the Bulldogs that season. And you could tell that they were just really relieved just to have the playoffs get started.
Once the playoffs got started, we cruised through the first few rounds. No one could really keep up with us. And the Cougars on the other side were cruising through their bracket. And we knew this was the matchup that was going to determine the championship that year.
It was always going to come down to us and the Cougars. Everything was going to come down to the championship game. And it was a hot day.
Something in the air that day. Something's off. The karma, the baseball gods are looking down on Hillside Elementary, and they're saying, we're going to take charge of this game.
The Cougars, out of nowhere, they just started making these incredible plays that they definitely were not making throughout the regular season.
We couldn't get ahead all game. We had our chances. They were making plays. People we never heard of were making plays. Ben hits a shot to center field. Some random guy on their team makes a diving play to end the inning.
Oh, he made a catch! Unbelievable!
It was like that all game long.
The whole time, as a fan, you're sitting there thinking, no matter what's going on, the Bulldogs are going to pull this one off like they always have all season long.
The game was tied, but something's got to give.
Heading into the final inning, the 6th inning.
Bottom of the 6th, game's been tied for a while now. 1 out, runner on third, little weak ground ball to the left side. I charge it, plays clearly at home, fire it into Jake, who's right there blocking the plate. Andrew Lowy's charging down the line, and he's out by a step. He might be out by 2 steps. There's no question, 2 outs, looks like we're going to extra innings.
I get out in front of the plate, I make the tag and hold up the ball. He's obviously out, so I instinctively turn back towards the rest of the field. And then...
Here's Daniel McCutcheon, and a ground ball to third, breaking for the plate, the throw, and they got him! No! He called him safe! He called him safe! Unbelievable! He called him safe! The throw beat him by a mile! That is incredible!
How can you end?
He called him safe!
How can you end
You've
the game?
got to be kidding me!
That is remarkable.
That is unbelievable!
What?
I was there. I've gone back and looked at the video. He was out.
I was right on the fence. I had this complete, perfect view of the play. And there's the ball come in, the tag is made, and he's clearly out. And no, he wasn't.
And he's saying that he wasn't tagged?
That is unbelievable!
I've really never heard professional announcers at a loss for words like that before.
You've got to be kidding.
And you're going to end the game like this? This is how the game ends?
That's amazing!
That is amazing.
I was at that game, and Andrew was out. Nobody saw it any other way.
I didn't have a great view, but yeah, he was out.
And that's it. And we start walking off. And that's the season.
The entire town was in shock.
I remember reading about that in the Enterprise when I was just learning how to read. And, that was all we were talking about in elementary school, Hillside.
People talk about Don Deckinger. This was the moment in baseball that they're talking about in 100 years.
probably the worst call in the history of sports.
Just incredible one call.
Nothing was the same after that.
Ben had it all when he first came into the league. Killer looks, killer fastball, and an awesome family to support him. He was kind of the poster boy for Americana. And then everything changed.
Ben took it the hardest. Loss of innocence.
Ben went on to do some good things, but he didn't go on to do great things. And you saw it, because I kept following the story, because you knew this was going to be something that would evolve over the next 5, 6, 8 years.
Ben is still haunted by that call, and he's right. Andrew was out.
I was there. I saw that play. He was out.
He was out at the plate.
Yeah, he was out.
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 The guy's out. He's just out.
The dude was out. You were right, Ben.
Yeah. I was out.
So, do it again. All right, here we go.
I'll try the whole thing again.
Yeah, that's great.
Right.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, let me try it again.
So I feel like it's a real interview.
Yeah.
It's for ESPN.
They didn't stand a shot. Best hitter, best pitcher in the league, and we were going to ride him to victory all.
Well, it really put the legitimacy of the league in question. Because when you have such a powerhouse entity like Hastings Little League, such a revenue generator, fans are into it, and then to have something tarnish that reputation like this call, and people wondering whether there's some backroom deals going on. Who do the Cougars?
One of the duties that I had as the bat boy was that Goldfarb would just come in after any given inning and just point to a girl, and I knew that I had to just go make that happen.
He started hanging out with Mike Quinn. Quinn kind of ruined him.
Mike Quinn was sad. You knew when he was hanging out with Mike Quinn that this was just a bad choice.
Started showing up late to practice. Stopped showering for a while. That was weird.
I don't want to pin it all on Mike Quinn. There were other factors.
I actually have a mark on my groin from this one time that Ben hit me with a fastball. Actually, I can show you if you.
You've really never seen such an impressive mobility from such a large figure.
His entire diet consisted of raisins, apricots, chocolate chips, and a vast assortment of nuts that he would have in these jars.
I remember going over to the Goldfarbs and seeing these nuts in jars everywhere. And I remember thinking to myself, that must be the key. That's how Ben is so successful on the field.
Yeah.
So I would eat as much, all the nuts I get my hands on as a kid, I would eat. I still eat nuts to this day because of that.
Ben was really a pioneer when it came to athletes and nutrition.
Pistachios, almonds, peanuts, everything.
Who's the comparator? Who's the one I wanted to be like? Looking back 30 years earlier, I would have to go with Ben. When the scorekeeper, the great scorekeeper up there comes to record our names. What's that stupid Grantland Rice song? The great scorekeeper comes to record our names. Ben, you know, he'll it's not working. I get a little worked up when I think about Ben and the lost promises.
Do you want a minute? Do you want to?
I may need a minute here. When the great scorekeeper,
Sorry.
when the great scorekeeper comes to record our names, you know whose name's going to be right at the top of his list? Ben Goldfarb. Little League legend. High school disappointment. When the great scorekeeper comes to record our names, Ben, he'll be writing yours down. He's going to write all of ours down. We're all going to die, right? As Grantland Rice wrote, Ben, and I've just Googled it, for when the one great scorer comes to mark against your name, he writes, not that you won or lost, but how you played the game. Well, I'm glad that I was able to take Ben under my wing after the sadness of the Yale years, and sort of put him on a better path. And it's just writing, but I think he's on a good road now, and he's found someone. He's found a wife. It's kind of shocking, right? The dude did find someone. Ben, that kid was out. Time to look ahead. Time to get over it. You probably won't be able to, but now you might have some help. Good luck, dude.